What's up, guys? I wanted to make this video to give you guys some of my experience in working as a volunteer with kids in jail. So this is something I've been doing now for some years, and it's something that brings me a lot of happiness and a lot of fulfillment in many different ways. So this is something that came about kind of out of nowhere for me. A few years ago, I reached a point in my life where I was doing well. I was doing well as far as the regular structure in life, family, business, home life. I was making money, so everything seemed to be in place. And from an outside perspective, you'd think that I should be happy and have a sense of, fulfillment, that I have everything going on. People look at me and think I have everything they could ever ask for in life and therefore should be happy. But I still found myself, lacking. And I felt like there was something missing, and I felt incomplete. I was not satisfied, and I gave a lot of thought to my situation. So some of you may be familiar with my background or have seen some of my other videos. I came from nothing. I never had anything in life. The majority of my life was spent suffering and miserable and depressed, and so I assumed, like most who come from very little, that the acquisition of the things that I've always lacked would be sufficient enough to bring me happiness and joy. And that wasn't the case for me. So I got all the things, and I had all the things now that the people want and desire, and the things that I thought should bring me happiness, but it was all nothing. It was just material bullshit. So I find myself in this point in life where I should be happy, according to what I thought happiness was. And I gave so much thought to it, and I just realized that I'm not happy because I'm living all about myself. Not in the sense that I'm selfish, or that I don't sacrifice for others. I put those that are in my immediate circle, I put them before me all the time, and I live for them. I sacrifice myself for them. So it's not what I mean that it's selfish in that way, but what I do mean is that I'm not doing anything of benefit to anyone outside of my realm, outside of my own people. I'm not doing anything for anybody. I'm not doing anything with no expectation of anything in return for strangers, just out of the kindness and goodness of my own heart. And it may sound funny, it may sound stupid to some of you, but for me, again, going back to those of you that are a little familiar with my story, it is a miracle for me to be here. For me to be a free man and to be alive and to not be in a cage is miraculous in itself. So I'm the first to admit, I'm always grateful, and I'm always reminding myself of what happened. I'm extremely blessed and fortunate. So it's important for me that I give back. It's important for me that I give something of myself, to others that can benefit them, that can help them without any expectation of anything in return. I don't need anything in return. My payment has already been given in advance. My payment was God saving my life and taking me out of situations that I shouldn't have come out of so many times. So I've already been paid in full, as far as I think of it, for the work that I'm now doing. And it's not even about that, whether it's something I've gotten or not. I just feel good doing this. So getting back to the main point of it now, it was difficult for me in the beginning to even walk in to that type of facility, because I spent a lot of my worst times ever in life in juvenile facilities similar to that. So it was difficult. And, in addition to that, I was completely banned. I'm a multiple convicted criminal with serious offenses, violence included, as far as convictions. So obviously there were security concerns and there were loopholes I had to go through to even get security clearance to get into the jail. And because they're minors, even more so. So again, another case example where people go out of their way to really help me. And it's a blessing for me that I was able to even overcome those obstacles. But once I was able to do that, I was in there, and right away the administration there, the people involved with the program specifically, recognized that I was very unique among the people that were there. Most of the volunteers are elderly churchgoers, from the local community there. And so for me, I'm coming from an outside world basically, and I'm young, I'm a lot closer to their age, and I'm a convicted criminal. And I've served time in juvenile jails and adult prisons all over. So I have a good starting point, and I have a better likelihood of establishing a rapport and some level of trust with the kids than some of the other volunteers may. So that turned out to be to my benefit, and it has actually happened. And I've worked with many kids. For the most part, the kids that I choose to work with are those that are there for the longer periods of time, those that are facing serious charges. The majority, believe it or not, of the kids that I've really gotten involved with were murderers, and it may come off as sounding, crazy, murder, but in my world, to hear murder doesn't sound as crazy as it does to civilians and regular people. But yeah, they're there for murder, and they made mistakes, like everyone else. And that was a point of somewhat conflict for me because, I realized that they did wrong and they deserve punishment. I understand that. But I don't feel that it's for me to deny them any help where I have ability to offer them that help. That's not for me to decide. So I don't judge anybody based on what they did, and I really am there with the right intention. If I can help you in any way I can, I'm there for you. But what I found is that most, if not all, of these kids, they're fucked up because they have nobody to teach them better. Most of these kids come from broken homes. They don't have a father figure steadily in their life, and it's just sad for me. It's sad for me because I'm understanding the real reasons why people end up in situations like that, without blaming, which is the easy thing to do. Most people, including myself, I used to be like that. I would think everybody's responsible for their own and fuck them. You fucked up and this is where you belong. And it's not the case. It's not the case when we're talking about kids. It wasn't the case when I was in that situation myself either. As adults, yes, I'm 100% for that. Though I still believe everybody, for the most part, can be helped and improved in some way. But yeah, these kids are fucked up because of their circumstance. A lot of them were abused. A lot of them were, put in horrendous situations from very early on in their life where they were seeing things and hearing things that, people shouldn't hear. Not at that age and not at any age. And these things have an effect, and like me, they grew up speaking the language of violence. That's what they observed around them. And that was okay. That was acceptable. That was the taught way to handle certain situations. And it's unfortunate because, again, that's conflicting with our society's rules. So I don't like to give up on anybody. I don't like to give up on anybody, and I feel like work like this is crucial. It's crucial because, the kids, the young ones, they are the future, the next generation that's coming up. And for them to be without guidance to the point that they are, that so many of them are just lost and end up fucking up their lives is a sin. It's terrible. It's terrible, being that there are so many fucking capable men around, male role models, female included. They could be there as well. Why are we not there? Why are we not helping these kids more often? And it's part of the reason I'm making this video, to just put out there the idea and the thought for you guys that there should be situations in your life where you are doing things for other people just out of the kindness of your heart. There's nothing wrong with that. People get caught up so much in, what they do and what they expect to get in return, to the point that they feel like, if I'm not getting something, if I'm not getting paid for this or benefiting in some way, fuck that. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving any of my time, any of my thoughts and energies to anybody for free. Fuck everybody. And that's the wrong attitude. And it's a sad attitude to have. Because in helping these kids, I feel like I benefit so much also. I benefit, my family benefits, the kids benefit, the community benefits, and everyone benefits as a result. So, maybe you guys can give some thought to this and think about a way unique to yourself. Not my way, but whatever works for you. And whoever it is around you in your world, in your life, that you can maybe help. And try to help them. Do something kind. Be about something other than yourself. And I think you will feel the same result that I feel. That this is a good thing. And this is something that we should do regularly in our lives And, there's much, much more to life than personal gain and benefit. And this is a good way to get a better grasp of that, just by having those kind of feelings of satisfaction and interaction with people on a human level, coming from a perspective other than one of desire. You can really be amazed at what you'll find. There are good people out there, and people need help. And, likewise, you'll be in a situation one day, or have been, where you need help. I was in situations where I needed help, and I wish I could have had somebody, extend a hand to me and offer the kind of help that I now can give to them. So I think overall, volunteering and doing, charitable things and good-hearted, kind things is a very important thing in life, and something that's lacking greatly. And I hope to see more people do things like this, or anything. Just help people. Just do something kind and something good for other people without thinking about yourself, and I think you'll gain tremendously from it. So I hope I didn't ramble too long on this video, and maybe you guys can take something positive out of it. Thanks.